Idang Guru Rana Mendra Lakane Adaya Me Sanje Chudan Soji Chona La Chanju Badu Dane Davi Chujin Jive Sonan Jive Drola Benje Sanje Shu Sanje Chudan Soji Chona
Chanju Badu Dane Gyapsu
Davi Chujin Jive Sonan Jive
Drola Benje Sanje Drubar
Sanje Chudan Soji Chona
Chanju Badu Dane Gyapsu
Davi Chujin Jive Sonan Jive
Drola Benje Sanje Drubar
La Memidam Jion, but the Jajin as a church, la Chava, Sunday, what of the Sijin, the Raji, the Majin, the Jajin, the teacher. Tenjin Chabatella told the Tajun go in there, Labinia Jason, the Prince, I made an unbeaten Levatula to Resunianchi. Namo la Yaganu than the Jinja, Rubuta, the American and Dr. Quinjitano, Chisan, but Tom Jacket, Takichi, and those. Oh, yeah. That Karsuri Undo Jengi Kasu Chima Satan Mijivi, Ishi Chanju Jede, say Gana. That Chanju Mersundi, Chanju Chimbo said Mersundi Gana. And the country is and Chima Satan Mijivi is. And the Chima Simji Chini getting Chima Rashi Saba. And Rashi Sabam. Dang any lubuji timem seba or tima sabadang sabadang lar mijiva ash musum the tobi ishe sena number 30 ishe la che tetsamji any chanju gong or joku amar chanju la sudan duma chedang tendiwa inzang any ishe dan den bijamne tadu tima sabadang 미제와시 예단 댐비 때문에 타도 아니 자주 침복이 뭐 빠진데 시작을 해.
So taking a quotation from the Ornament of Clear Realizations, in which there's a verse defining what is the nature of enlightenment, that being a state in which all of the defilements have been made extinct, and made extinct, exhausted to the degree that it will never arise again. So all of these defilements that exist on the basis of the suchness of the mind, these defilements, natural defilements, the adventitious defilements, when they are exhausted so that it never arises again. That is the nature of the enlightenment. The nature of enlightenment is not just that gnosis. It's not just that exalted knower directly perceiving, having the direct perception of all of this. It's not just, the nature of the enlightenment is not just that gnosis, not just that exalted knower of the omniscient mind, because in what is defined as enlightenment, you have both form and as well as uncreated or uncompounded phenomena as well. And so the nature of that enlightenment is referred to, where all of the defilements are extinct, the natural and the adventitious defilements, exhausted, in which it will never arise again.
Oh yeah, that tender we chanju chimbo de ani shebala chanju jung ta kasan topji du ani tobi de la so da teni du bi le ani te du bi yuan de dan yuan de usum ji ra be ju bi cheba da kasan yo de shi mo ga che cheba je yu bi na ne dan da kare che go re sana da pa je teni du bi le ka tu de dang zo chu wa ro mo qing topji du qing tobi te tobi du di tobi de wu qing ani da teni du bi le se de ka tu de da le go in ba da ra
So as explained yesterday, then what is this great enlightenment? Explaining the nature of such an enlightenment, the causes, the methods that allow for the attainment of such an enlightenment, and what are the results, the defining results of that enlightenment, and on the basis of having this result, then with those qualities, then accomplishing the activities of the two types of benefit, and then the explanations of the three types of the manifestations that talking about the three types of Buddha bodies, and the function of and the functions or the activities of those function or activities of those two types of actions. So yesterday we went briefly through these 8 qualities that define the great enlightenment. So we already went through what is the nature, the cause, the result, and so today should be the function referring to the two types of activities benefiting self and others.
다 가스레 이신이 있으나 나 지다보다 신이요 또 이신이 뭐 될라되네 아니 괜히 비숨 란데나 샨데 비숨 소환이 이신이지 제래라 연구 알아 예장 이신이 그 제래라 용한 누잘라 되네 아니 괜히 편서 둡지지 아니 내지 아니 둡지니 셔와차
So the function here refers to the activities generating the two types of benefit, the perfect activities. These perfect activities arise from the two gnosis, arise from the two exalted knowers, knowing exactly and knowing completely. So from this then arises the perfect two activities benefiting the disciples.
나 되네 가서래서 랑된 편조다 견대 편조 랑다 현지 템피순 소와데 간데스레서나 아니 좀 된대지 누지 감다 삼바다 튀바 아니 꾸유거바 민자와 누자라라게 감다 매와다 참바기 아니 꾸나서 봤대 아니 가서 땜발라 왕은 좋아 세대 가르래서나 송준이도 숨어야 두만이도 소소코 전에다 삼님이 잡을 도이가 소환아 신체니 좀 된데 그 송두 삼바 아니 미다고 송태 송두 삼바 아니 송태기 전에 측태라 미다비 대도 가는 미다바 용아지 대도 가는 동아와 다음에 비대도 두고 와나라 다음에 봐 어다 강당 강리 때문에 두고 와나라 아니 가서래 송지보태기 아니 때 맞아 봐 인장 송지기장 도자 소소게당 tumba 아니 최대마 태양 아니 소소라라는 게 깨다 tumba tumba 잡아
So what do these perfect activities benefiting self and others, how that is so is when the Buddhas manifest a varieties of Buddha bodies in accordance with disciples' mental dispositions and interests, then emanating out of whatever varieties of bodies to benefit them, and then having the power of the speech as stated within the Inconceivable Sutra, then by one speech then addressing varieties of topics, varieties of sentient beings, in a variety of in a great variety of language with one speech. So, if that speech is on impermanence, then for those disciples, with the interest in impermanence, then hearing about impermanence. For those disciples of the, who's most benefited by the topic of suffering, then hearing, that one speech, one person hears about impermanence, the other hears about suffering, and then there's another disciple, with interest and the topic to be most benefited by selflessness, then hearing about that. So, and then, with that one speech, then addressing a variety of topics according to the need of the disciples, and that speech expressed in a variety of language.
Oh yeah, that's it. That's it. I said that. That kasore. Randi chugu sheba da, shendi chugu. That randi chugu dela. That kasang kasin. Tumba na shen sheni. Bamba da toba ni yo imbare. Roha bamba di. Ani ngoni gu ni che. Rashi namda chaji yung ngoni gu da lubu namda chaji yung ngoni che.
So you have the Dharmakaya, the truth body, which is the perfect benefit for the self. The Dhammakaya, the truth body, consists of the abandonments and the realizations. The abandonments here refer to the two Swabhavakaya bodies, the two Buddha body of nature, referring to the Swabhavakaya, which is the Swabhavakaya, Buddha's body of nature, which arises from that natural purity, purity of the natural defilements, and the Swabhavakaya that which arises out of the purification of the adventitious defilements, the two Swabhavakaya bodies associated with the abandonments. And then the realization here refers to that realization, knowing phenomena exactly and completely.
Oh yeah, tenra yi bando de ten de la zawala ta kasang gi shugu de che kana jada tuji tenru ki ote duwa saba meja jimme che jen de den shi da ba pome ne yin o da wa te ti te ko so
So you have verse 18, which denotes the two, what is abandonment, denoting abandonment and realizations, describing abandonments and realization, immaculate, of all-pervading wisdom, imperishable, firm, quiescent, eternal, and motionless. So the terms that we used previously for this line were like, constant, at peace, permanent, and unchanging or inalterable. The Buddha in this corporeal forms is the cause that the pure faculties of sense perceive their objects as space is the receptacle for all things.
Sapa meja jimme chechen de is deba jadi kana sapa meba se de jimni ji taba nyemo be deba da shi ji deba ni ji ane sapa meba bangba de che.
The term immaculate is uncontaminated by the stains of the two types of obscurations, afflicted obscurations and obscuration to knowledge.
Da dije la toba chugu de la toba sheja chidawa nelu tadu dang chinye ba anu kunzo vi che tada la ane sanje ki chembe chaba yinzam saba mechap sitin ba.
Of all-pervading wisdom, referring to the Dhammakaya, the Dhammakaya of realizations, which is a composite of knowing all phenomena exactly for what it is, and knowing the reality or knowing the final mode of existence of phenomena, and knowing all relative phenomena is so all pervading wisdom refers to that Dharmakaya of realizations.
Okay, that teacher la Saba Major Jimmy Chudenti said again that tell a dembi. Ani Chabarji, and then careers, and then careers, and that Jiba may be changed. Jiba may be changed. Intended seeing you would let them be Jiba may be changed, then the careers, and Ani Jimmy Chudent said, she did do Gundanga Shaba, she separate Bambe, Dambatangs. She did do any Gundanga Shaba said, Kasangamanga Yage, Tasala Nevis, Ani Chanju Sambadam. Nyeran Drajon by Jawa Limbiku. That Mari Pajaki, Nimongi Mintawa, the leg Mintawa, Mari Pajaki, Sada, Sameki Le, you are what Tindiki, and a Junaki, good and Tebutela secret. You Mari Pajakatan, Sameki Legi, Niche, Jewutela Yang, and Yijiashingi. Nerangi, what tender we she would separate Bambana Dambas.
So imperishable or indestructible is the quality of this uncontaminated, all-pervading wisdom. Having this quality of indestructible. Indestructible because the quality of the indestructibility refers to those five features of of cause and effect in relation to obscuration to knowledge. In relation to obscuration to knowledge, there are five cause and effect factors, like in the case of the pure levels, and in the case of the Arya hearers and Arya solitary realizers. Then you have those imprints, predispositions of ignorance, the grounds of the imprints of ignorance, and the non-afflicted or uncontaminated karma that arises from it. And then, as a result of this, then you have the mental body, the body which is in the nature of the mind. So free, that indestructible refers to that it is not subject to these factors of cause and effect.
Onga Sebi, and Xapasin, she said about Bombay, Dampatan said, Johanna. Did Tabatan poor me because she was said she wasn't Taba Meba, said, and the Pacha Tamuki, Nanamji, and the Neba Mebana, she was it.
Permanent and peace quiescent. The permanent previously, then you're talking about destroying king Shiseva Bambati Hansumba.
No.
Shiseva Bambati Nede.
No.
Shiseva Bambati.
She was she was sick to my Shiva. Pacha Tamin, Namji, Shiva maybe, never maybe China Shiva has.
So,
Dambati, she said that she did do Maripacha Sata make it leche. What is it about?
Papa.
Temba.
Temba, firm or stable or constant, is referring to that one has completely exhausted all the basis of the imprints of ignorance and uncontaminated karma, and all of that is firm with regards to that. And then and the peace at peace because, not harmed by even the subtlest of karmas. Shivati leg tamuke. Please, I made a mistake. Not pained by. Not pained by even the subtlest of the imprints, even the most subtle imprints, does not affected by that.
What you were asking earlier about the she.
That was my date. What am I trying to call it?
Was it what you described earlier with the cause and effect?
Yeah, both with the cause and effect of the fire. She seva. The basis of all of that being exhausted. No?
She means
Basis. She
but it has the off effects.
She the quasi gore.
Never remember she
She seva pambetamba.
She seva pambetamba.
When she said, "Do de la Maripaja Gesada Samegile." Budget Dishakala, Tasala never shall use some Bajik Shidang, Yaranda Jajik Shidang, the Yungura, Junidang, Debuni Yungura, budget injury.
The Shisavapamba, the extinction of all the bases, meaning the four, the basis of the imprints of ignorance and the non-afflicted karma, and its consequences and its result. And gengi tanju junde ngach sumjati junde ngach sumba.
Junde ngamari, junde si ngari siabas, ngama siapa, ngari yake nyeranda jumda chanju sabajel, sabajel gudan de siawa, ngari siawa what is.
So it's not the five. I made a mistake because the Tibetan term five and previous are similar. So it refers to the four causes and results that were previously explained. So permanent because it is not affected by karma and afflictions, and as well as inconceivable. So, because there is no birth by karma and afflictions, and because there is no intentional birth in these mental bodies, so it is eternal or permanent. So motionless, before we translate it as unchanging, because it is there is no inconceivable, death. The Buddha in this corporeal form is the cause that the pure faculties of sense perceive their objects as space is the receptacle for all things.
Anis, Tayage, Sugu said, and a Suji Kuni, sending to be near in check. In a day in them, that's Chidananga, 난가데 난가기 고갑체발라 때네 아니 섬제 남지 가소래 랑랑기 다제 안볼라 땜비 아니 남바시 초추 세르가나 미게 남바시와네 이지 남바시 바키 미게 남시 나에 남시 내 남시 제 남시 류지 남시 이지 남바시와 대 남바시와 추기 초지 아니 랑랑기 미시기 아니 유수녀와 저와 나시기 자녀와 내시베 티녀와 지시기 로녀와 류시기 자녀와 아니 이지시와기 아니 최지 녀와 최지지 녀와 딸 스테벨라체.
So to illustrate how this Rupakaya, the form body of the Buddha, then is a body fulfilling the benefit of the others. Then to illustrate that example, then you have to illustrate this point. You have the example of the like the space, like the space that allows for the for the sensory faculties. The 5 sensory faculties and the mental consciousness to perceive their own respective objects, such as the visual perception, seeing form, then hearing sound, scent, taste, tactile objects, and the mental consciousness experiencing phenomena.
Oh yeah. 다 대신시와 남지장 수기 7회 표심소와 7년 주액이 누자라 안에 두지 7년 주벌기 다 주소 창니 누지원에 주소 창니 좀대디 중원에 주소 창장와 레디 7년 주발라 누지원에 고가 주소 창니 안에 7년 주바지 고고와 인장 아니 대신시와 남지 수기 7년 표심소와 이비 고가 예발라 때네
and then the Tathagatas too have all the causes in them to engage in the activities, and the disciples. The disciples also have in them all of the causes to be the recipient of those activities of the Buddhas. So the Buddhas on their part, they're already present with all of those causes to engage the disciples, and the disciples also to become the recipient of those activities of the Buddha, then need to have the causes of, to be the recipient of those activities.
두자 남지 아니 뭐도 비엔데지 초세나 아니 티바 치중기 아니 남지를 봐 뭐도 봐가 뭐도 봐서 남나 고거래 뭐도 남지 뭐도 비엔데지 초지 뒤위 아니 초지 뒤위 담바 안보 truki 된 냠수냐와是吧 原来그 초지 뒤위 담배 아니 아무 truki 된 좋아 냠수니 두두와 시와 차오.
So in this way, then the disciples, having the causes to be the recipient of the Buddha activities, have in those fortunate ones, then have the opportunity to actualize the realizations of their paths, the Mahayana paths and the Hinayana paths, those stages of the path. So have the opportunity to actualize those qualities, like this, how the 6 senses, actualizes its own respective objects in the same manner. Then, like how the 6 sensory sense perceptions enjoys their own respective objects, then sentient beings come to actualize those qualities.
다더니 那提成到的谢的啦，听你谢巴拉斯，他也都他妈话给，我让做他妈话给，每个安布拉说话给，安布出给有人单位听，他妈就每个安布太太给，每个安布没些给手啥话通行，咱没懂，那些个样咱没懂，俺你看说的。So
as ordinary sentient beings, then, our perceptions are limited to its own respective objects, such as, our ability to see visual, to see forms, then cannot hear sound. Like that, it only sees form and cannot hear sound. So, as ordinary beings, then limited in that kind of way.
So,
the way in which the Buddha's, faculties then experience its objects is far beyond, far surpasses the manner in which, ordinary beings' sensory faculties then, experience its object.
아니 제와라 와 대마인바 아니 메시지 중앙시 초발에 제와 메비 자와 예바메 자와 예바도 메비 술라 소와 그 전에 따와탕 와
대통다
단대시다 미기 제와기 있이 메시기 알아서 안보되게 안보소서 유라데세 다좀 된데 산제기 진행마 세비 메시지 저기 메시기 중앙시 초발에 제와 메바 중앙시 초발에 마제와 아니 자와 여바 메비 술라 자와 여바 메비 이시그랑 신주 구만도 중시 초발타 술라발에 제와 메바 자와 여바 메비 술라 따위테 술라 소기 된 따와탕
전다 화마서
나
전다 화마서
그래서 메시기 산제기 메시기 그러와 그래서나 중시 초발에 제와 메비 자와 여바 메디 수라바 타마의 수라바들의 마인바 이시그랑 신주 구인장 중앙시 초발에 제와 말했어 그래서 중앙시 초발에 제와 메비 자와 여바 메비 그 따위 안 수라 따와
the way in which in the Buddha's see form is like this, a self-appearance of that transcendental wisdom, not a form which is a composite of the four elements, but like seeing the form of a Buddha, like the form of the Buddha Amitabha, like the example of seeing the form of a Buddha Amitabha, then that form is the self-appearance of a transcendental wisdom, and not something that which is a culmination of the four elements.
중시 초발에 전에 제와 마이 제와 메비 이시기랑 시지 아니 자와 여바메다 오기 아니 술라 따와 술라 소비 튼 따와 술라 튼 따와 되라 주메스다 따당 자와 주메스는 따당
자와
주메
he conveys
he
conveys the perception of his miraculous apparitions. Basically, not seeing form as a composition of the the four elements, but rather miraculous apparition, referring to that self-appearance of the transcendental wisdom, like seeing the Buddha Amitabha.
那提存到的贴钱，那第二提钱了，什么存到随着大党当上你写的上节给70年时期，人间书记他们这部当讲完了，所谓他被确定为当上部，年这当前，因为跟当差为当嘛年把当是吧？年对几人间。年时期70年时期，人间书记他们这部当讲完，人间书记呢，年对人间，人家人间，特别人间书记，安尼托这个他们当用这部当讲完了说话，安尼谈比确切别当上部，安尼年间当差为当嘛年吧。
So the pure audition of the most sublime words referring to the teachings, the dharma of the path and result for the beings of the three types: the hearers, the solitary realizers, and the Mahayana.
Oh yeah. 就没随便大堂当上呢，张嘛年当写太清晰，这些书中记写这个大，这些书中记写咋话这个是吧？那一些呗，这边的写呗，俺这这边的写吧上节去是吧？这边的写吧给俺这书中记吃张嘛弄吧，是吧？
And the pure scent of the Buddha's morality, then referring to the pure scent of the purity of Buddha's morality.
你说，啊？
研究是哪能的？
早晚的这些初中级吃上那么大才的钱，是吧？但这个这话肯定是呢，俺呢。 这些呗，那些呗，聊的些话是那上节的，俺那初中级吃脏嘛，是吧？我初中级吃，我吃脏嘛，俺那些那吧。
So the explanation for this is that the Tathagata's sense of smell. Then what do they smell is the pure scent of the Buddha's morality.
这张初中那把大把送来给看啥动作啦？初中他被定义，俺那女了吃皮，俺那吃土毛人把去开一瓦的送过来的，第二块一瓦的，他毛人把俺那初中给吃啥嘛？那把是吧？
So and there is a general explanation or understanding that those who live in pure morality and their bodies, those living in pure morality, their bodies have a particular scent, pure scent. And it is in relation to that, but here it refers to the Buddha's sense of smell, then experiencing the pure scent of the Buddha's morality.
这些初中级，张八年当这些初中级吃上那么当。 他就他们介入娘当是，那旅级写话去，旅行都讲把来全没事，旅行把的养话，俺那他看的是，等于是现在特别讲了，旅行讲给的话特别的话，旅行都养吧，旅什么，俺旅给外来了，行都高的种啊。 特别的话，等于上旅行都讲把来全没，等于真的日本的话娘说娘话，
So the relish of the flavor of the highest doctrine, the enjoyment of the felicitous feeling of transic meditation. So referring to the pliancy of the pliancy or the flexibility of the mind and body that arises out of samadhi or concentration, thus making the mind and body completely serviceable or easily engaged in activities of virtue.
他看说的，咱们全部的双完呐，让他妈的一级写完，让个我你级三，你级 니지 사회 이시기 랑경 원지 사회 수 동반이지 텐도비 줄출라
and
나서 이시기 이지 세회 랑경 원지 사회 뭐세가 랑경 오 아니 또바가와 인장 아니 사회 수 동반이지 텐도비 줄출라
and the mental consciousness then realizing the profound emptiness which is one's own nature, which is difficult to realize, then the mental consciousness generating that realization of the profound emptiness, that realization of one's own nature.
이게 남바시와 주변에 유주냠 선영과 체도 시스템이 다 된다 가서래 로리 남기 내가서 아니 가서래 왕시 소소이 암비시와 소소 암보 소소라 템비시와 대다기 랑랑기 유명화 제바 된다 공도 셔바나 신체 자 와, 다 산재기 살아 지디가나 아니 이시지보태기 아니 유탐전 영화 이시지비장 아니 유사수당 자다 치당 로라서바 이제 탐전 영화 제바
상계기 이시지 강한 영마
네라 소소기 된다디 로리 내가서
하고서 상계기 이시다 상계기 숙 시베 이시디게 강가 이시 강가 시골에
남템으로 송와나스 그래서 안내나 막이 맛 로리 내가서 아니 이시 소소소소기 공도샤바나시 두시냥기레스 이시스로와
상계기 사기
단계기 사는시가 남템으로 송와나 띵이 띵지 또 이제 탄예비 남바시와 주게 아니 유 이시 남바 주게 요 단다 용어로와 다 이제 남바시와 지배장 유주냠스님과 지그레스 이些지비장
근데 숨을지나 상계기 다 숙시베 이시절와 쟁기 숙시베 이시절와 디게 다 강가스였어
내가 두스체 디도라 이시 세베랑경 오르기 된도비 줄출라 체 드니 남템버로 소와나 띵이든지 또지 탄예비 세와 주 광도 이시 세와 주게레레레 샤바데 아니 양선영화 책을 마세 제가 맞에 다 이지시와 지부기 시지부기장 아니 가서래 수탐자도 그랬어
이시만 임베시메 도그래
도그래 이나 이시지 자르래 내가 그 시와 강간 나바탐심이 이시인데 또도 도그래와
So when one is on the path, then one's faculties, sixth consciousness, experience or actual its own respective object, and on the when one attains the grounds of Buddhahood, then besides all of the gnosis or the sixth exalted consciousness experiencing its unrespected object. Besides that, then the mental consciousness of the Buddha, the mental consciousness of the Buddha then experiences all of the objects of the six senses.
지나바시와 파바첨부 지시에 파바첨부는 지탄비치 이지로 영화 대체. 와. 아니 지가서리 류지시에 류신도 잠발라 저 띵의지 더와냐서 영화 대. 아니 르대 냠용당 냥당 띵지 르대 냠용당 세체. 와. 그래서
그
자와테리잖아. 자와디 가서 냥당 시가라 파제 담주로죠 탐제로 냥당 세제라 아니 지시에 파파 첨부나지 담비치 지지로냐와 다지 칭차와체 대직체.
So the Buddha's perception of taste, then tasting the Dharma and the Buddha's perception of tactile sensation is associated with the experience of the experiences that arise out of that concentration, the pliancy of the mind and body, arising out of the samadhi. So here in the enjoyment of the felicitous feeling of transcendental meditation is the Buddha's tactile sensation is associated with that pliancy of the mind and body arising out of samadhi, and the cognition of the subject, profound by its very nature, is the mental consciousness realizing emptiness. So the experiences of the six senses, then you have one way of of applying it in the case of the Buddhas, and another way applying it to the Aryas on the path. So when one sort of attains high levels of the path, then due to that samadhi or concentration, then one faculty is able to experience all of those six objects of the ordinary consciousness. And of course, the mental consciousness is able to experience all of those, six objects. So conventionally, then there is cause and effect, a product and a producer. You have that, but ultimately, ultimately or in an absolute way that there is no product or producer of that product, because that is the ultimate nature of things.
죄송합니다. 대인상 또비규규 힘을 삼바나 힘을 삼아나 힘을 삼아야 돼. 아니 가래에서나 탄야주 제제제제 예장 대연담바 제제제제단 차범 대연담바 제제 매바데 아니 전담 제제기 리바스나 돈이 주비 리발라 때네 힘을 삼아나 다 대연담바 제제제제 매바장 매밤 대연담바 제제제제단 차와데 내루타도체 대단히 내루타도 같은 무슨도 떠발래
So nominally, then you have product and the producer of that product, but ultimately, you do not have a producer and a product. So that is established by the logic and analyzing the ultimate truths. And when this logic, analyzing ultimate truths, then what it establishes is the ultimate mode or the final mode or final nature of how things exist. And so when one has the direct realization of this,
아니 대단하다 사바 maybe 시기 대와 사바 maybe 대와 아니 진발 세장
it bestows the ultimate uncontaminated bliss.
이장 된담 대세
The Buddha
또비지 주심을 삼바나 된담 대세 세티 말이
and the cognition of the subject profound by its very nature, but if closely investigated, the Buddha who grants thus the true and highest bliss in his cosmical essence, uncaused and unconditioned.
심을 삼바나 된담 대세 디신시바니 가신 균자는 디신시바니 나가신도 규제남다 차 세가라 내와 진바 자장양 자나양 디신시바니 나가 초베리자단 차와 신도 디신시바니 대단담바 제제지 균제남다 차데 저위 사시단 차와데
just like the space that is an absence of that is an absence of contact and obstructions. So also the Tathagata, the Buddha, who grants this true and highest bliss, is free of the four extremes.
나가 대신시만 나가 토비리자단 차와 대신두스 와 대별라차 가신세지 아니 대신시와 전담바 제제지시 제제단지 대신시와 제제의 제시요 규단 대부 요아레디 전담바 제제지시 규제남다 차와
so just like the space is an absence of a contact and obstruction, in this likewise the Tathagata too is is free of ultimate cause and production.
그 타시단 차세데 남중한족이 타시단 차세지와 라신지 여바마이 매 라신지 여바마이 라신지 매바 여바마이디 가서 야때네 매바 양마이 아니 라신지 여바다 매바 니가 양마이 라신지 매바다 여바 니가 양 라신지 여바마이
And it is free of the extremes of the four elaborations, like that it is not existent by way of its own nature, and it is not non-existent. It is not both, and that it is not non-existent by way of its own nature like that. What you talking?
They were before Tashi.
Elaboration.
Yeah.
It's a mistake in the spelling.
This
It's not the incense, it's elaboration.
Oh, yeah. Oh, then the Inza, Sanjaji Sugude, Takarasana, Rashi to a dozen Manayang, and it's then the Didela Tamjaki, Leso Tamje, and it's in Bazangare.
So in other words, Stein is saying that the Buddha's form body, even though it does not have the slightest bit of existence, existence by way of its own nature, yet it bestows upon us all of the happiness, mundane and supramundane.
So,
the next is the next is manifestations. Sometimes there's like entry. Ishigi council again. So, recognition of the objects that are engaged by the gnosis or by that exalted knower.
That subject are promotion, that's what my tattoo. That Sisuchaba so that is you been what you be young, so what the Chugu Shaba, Sujugu Shaba.
So, Tambut Harimba.
Is what you be you Shaba.
So,
explanation, not them, but I Shaba in your Shaba in Bata. Yes, in Bata. Yes, it is a
so first is a explanation of the objects that are the recipient of the potentials of that transcendental wisdom, that gnosis, and then the second point is the explaining the Dhammakaya and explaining the Rupakaya. So in explaining the objects that are the recipient of the potentials of that transcendental wisdom, then it's verse 21. In short, such do we know to be the functions of the two kinds of highest wisdom: the attainment of fully accomplished Dhammakaya, which is free from all defiling elements, and the activities of this Dhammakaya.
너나 티바침비 통공기 남기 뒤비 티바침복이 통공기 남기 있으니까 티바침비 통남 티젠지 대방 모습도 또와 대방원도 통남 쓰고하래.
So, the minor path of seeing and meditation, referring to those minor path of seeing that has the direct realization of emptiness.
인단 대방원도 쓰니까
direct insight into the truth.
대방원숨도 통마나 또 비깝지 남인배나 대방원도 체. 티바침비. 대방원숨도 통마 또 비깝지 남인배나 안에 통남 체.
So when one initially for the first time then has the direct insight into the truth, then that is the path of seeing.
근데 대방원숨도 통이 깝지 제수 아니 통승 공부를 채비 내가지 아니 남인바나 로비주지 남인바나 아니 고람 시고래.
After that, subsequent to that initial insight, direct insight into the truth, when one, when one familiarizes with that direct insight, then that becomes the path of meditation.
인상 통공지 남지 뒤위 다 전담 대방 무슨 또 와서나 전담 전담비 대바서나 동반이라와 거라 전담비 대바서가나 전담비 대바서고 거라는 틀에 대해서 거야 민자 요아래 와 전담바서나 돈용 무슨 또비 시대라 아니 담바체네 담바체네 디유인바나 전담비 대바서가래
the direct realization of the ultimate truths, that direct realization of ultimate truths that are subsumed within the path of seeing and path of meditation. So, there's ways to understand the direct realization of the ultimate truth, meaning that it is an ultimate truth because it is the object of the exalted knower realizing emptiness.
So
this exalted knower directly realizing emptiness is the exalted knower knowing exactly.
세자 진입바 군조 아니 군조 나조비 최도비 아니 제도 이些니보데 아니 개바체비 레스 니니 림바신도 시와 차오.
And then the exalted knower which arises out of this arising out of this exalted knower, knowing exactly, arising out of this is the exalted knower knowing all the the varieties of existence. In the post meditation. So this is what is being referred to here in the first two lines. In short, such do we know to be the functions of the two kinds of highest wisdom. When the afflictions within one's mind, within one's continuum, when they are completely abandoned, completely removed, and when one has the complete enjoyment of the Mayana Dhammas, the Mayana Dhammas, then that is the Dhammakaya. That the body that enjoys the complete minor dhammas.
全球故当先具及求故教全球故教把所有故是干了那得了的先具全球的把所有故有是干了属故得了龙就作为故当求故刚才刚主故你也别听你了家也进在那这个原因去的是呀
And
and they do it. Number Troyu Guni Java, the Cheju Guni Java.
the attainment of the fully accomplished Dhammakaya, which is free from all defiling elements, and the activity of this Dhammakaya. So, referring to the Dhammakaya, referring to the Rupakaya, referring to the Dhammakaya, referring to the Rupakaya, which has the Sambhavakaya and the Nirmanakaya.
Ranji Jiba Tadala Troyu Gu in Zoba, Sega Chogulaja. Ani Shenjuji Chogul Chojuko Jaba, Sugula Jaigana, and Sugunyaja.
Shengugi Chogo.
Shenjuji Chojuko Jaba, Segana. 수구 롱지서 구당 아니 주군이오지 도자가 무엇이 자유권에 아니 지금 무엇이 자네 대단히 최종 거와
So the Dhammakaya in the continuum of the others, then referring to the two form bodies, the enjoyment body and the emanation body, that others are directly able to perceive and have the interaction of the Dhamma.
다티니 가서래 추구 되게 이시기니와 집이 유등을 손에 안에 최주고 샤바텔라 안에 지담바 소사바 니유빈나 다나 자우 subject 한번 체 자와라 남도 최주고다니 남니 남직 셰샤테 사바메지 차비체 남도 최주고다니 봐
The perfectly delivered cosmical body and its manifestations are to be known in two aspects, and in one being free from all defilement, all pervading, and the substratum of eternal properties.
남도 세대 녀무 주바다 시지 주바라 넘버 2 세간의 지단 바인상 대라 수구다 초구다 아니가 초구다 수구다 초구니가 요와래 남로세 다 디나네 초점 대라 조 대라 남로 남당 아니 가서래 빵바 고배 뒤와 지단 넘버 2 점 인상 지단 남로세 다 주세 대라 아니 남로 남당 아니 주바데 빵바 대라 조고 테니 So
liberation here referring to the both of the two Buddha bodies, the form body Rupakaya and the truth body Dhammakaya. So liberated because of having because of having abandoned, having gained the cessation of those abandonments.
Then chugu that mambo konji mambo so na che chani pangba ani kasore jimi seba pangba tang soba chugu pangba chugu tang de pangba chugu ani tobe dibi chugu ani chidawa tobi shi chugu chidawa da chinyawa tobi shi chugu tang
and Dhammakaya, as explained earlier, is Dhammakaya of abandonments, in which one has totally exhausted the two types of obscurations, and the Dhammakaya of realizations, knowing exactly and knowing all.
Ani sujugu nabani se gana longje zoyu gudan zhuyu gu naba nidang tela tembi yuan dan naba jiki xewa chade.
And
Wow.
and then the form body is divided into the enjoyment body and the emanation body, with all its qualities, and that here in the root tracks and the substratum of eternal properties.
임다 남도 취지 구단이 세가 남도 칠때 직체
So
이제니 취지 구단이 세대 취지 구 방바당 도배뒤비 추구니 체 남도 취지 구단이 남니
So here you're talking about the body of liberation, Namdul, and the Dhamma and the Dhammakaya, the body of liberation and the body, the Dhammakaya body.
남니 이동도
So
나
no.
남도 지라샹로 남도 취지 남도 지라체 남도 취지 구단이 남니 이시가나 추구되라 방바 추구당 아니 도바 추구니
So
아니 추구되라 아니 가서를 롱도 노제 저유 구당 두고 남니 제가나 남도 취지 구단이 남니 스테니가 좋고 말해.
So as stated earlier, the liberated bodies are both in what is liberated is both the Dhammakaya, which has the Dhammakaya of abandonments and the Dhammakaya of realizations, and then you have the liberated body, which is the form body, which has the enjoyment body and the emanation body.
아니 남직시자 대세대 아니 어때 수고나 많이 대단 대라 땜비 연행기나 바치
And then and then you use independence upon those two form bodies. Then you have the many qualities, the substratum of eternal properties.
난다 되니 사바 매지 차위지 뒤마차지 내니 칠 세야되네 아니 사바 매비 치당 군산지 여기 가서 여기 칠된 받으라 남로대 좋아 되니 천배 세자 타다라 차위치 천배 세자 타다라 차위치당
So being free from all defilement and all pervading, referring to that gnosis or that exalted knower that pervades all existence.
사매당 빵바니워데 그래서 남 빵바당 남로니워데 사바메 비칠체 그러다
Sameta.
남로당 빵바니워데 빵바니와 주고 빵바치
So 남주다 빵바니디.
빵바니워데 사바메바
So liberation and abandonment is what is free of defilement, without contamination.
아니 또배 뒤위치다 와단 진여바디기 천배 아니 세자다다라 차위치다
And then the Dhammakaya realizations, knowing exactly and knowing all, is what is all pervading.
아니 가서 추구다 수군이 가나 땜비 연대 남바 지보대 치마니 땜발라 소유 뒤마 체지 연대 진내 임비치 스타디 임바리
So 수국이 추구다 수군이자기 숨겨 수국이 치마디
치마니 세 수주고 나바니 와르와 추구다 수주고 나바니라 그래 추구다 수주고 나바니가 땜비 연대 가서 연대 나바 지기 시바 차지 자르와 어디 근데 연대인데 아니 가래 땜받아서 뒤마치 연대지 내니 비칠 사월마 되는 거라.
And in independence upon the truth body and the form body, then you have all these qualities, dumache, uncreated qualities.
다 대치 땜받이마 칭찬이.
So this is like just a general explanation.
소소 샤바 대라 방바 도바 샤바 대라 땜비 연대 샤바 요인자다. 된지 인세리다.
Then the individual explanation of the abandonments and realizations.
어제 대칭자송 왔는데 사바매지 체외지 류마체지 내지치 세태철 친송아 사바매비 사바매지를 세대 방바다 남도니라 자 사바매비치 차위치르지가나 아니 지다와다 지녀바치비 또바대다 그 시작하다라 차위치르
So being free from all defilement refers to the liberation, refers to the abandonments, all pervading, referring to that gnosis, knowing exactly and knowing all.
아니 실수 주권이라 땜비 아니 연대한테 아니 가서래 두마체 연대지 내시 인세되라 두마체지 내니 칠 두마체지 내니 칠
So the qualities of those two Buddha bodies, the truth body and the form body, these two bodies are the substratum of all eternal properties, referring to the uncreated, uncompounded qualities.
뭐야, 다 되네. 연대 소소 샤바들라 방바다 또바 샤바 이자 되라. 땜비 연대 니변나 담보다 방바 샤바 되라. 니모 남니 바자당 제와 같이 사메테. 참에 토바 메비지 이시차와 니두데.
So the next stanza is the stanza explaining what are the abandonments. They are undefiled owing to the extirpation of all the passions and their residues. Being free from every attachment and hindrances, they are all pervading in their wisdom.
위쳐와니도체 나 되게 대화나 니모남니 바자다 제와 같이 세대 니모남니 바자다 제와 같이 다 니 가사가 당진당 아니 차당 모습라 소비 니몬체 니몬테다기 샤비기 아니 바자 니몬아메 샤비 바자是吧？爬家这个你们起码解决一那爬家当三百尼个的，那你们这个这下边爬家的了，可能你们起码解决个你把门那爬家怎么的三百码的，是吧
Okay, so having the cessation of all the afflictions and the imprints, the halting of all afflictions and its imprints, the grasping at the self of the person and arising from it the desire, the anger, and the ignorance, and the imprints of that, and if it is giving rise to future afflictions, then it is. It is with the seeds. It is with the seeds, seeds of those afflictions. And if it does not give rise to future afflictions, then it is without the seed, but with just the imprints. So here, because there is a total cessation of afflictions and the imprints of it, so it is uncontaminated, non-afflicted.
시자 탐제라 아니 덴바 셴바 메비 덴바 셴비 차바 메시 덴신 안 덴진 덴바 진바기 덴진라 차바 메다에 망보야리 덴진 과란 되자르다 말했으나 덴진 랑도 전에 되자마 덴진라 되자 요아르마도 덴진 지당 되자 가서 덴진 되자를 쓰고 말이 인자 덴진라 아니 차바기 메다와 요와 인자 시자 탐제 덴바 셴비 차바 메징
So they are they are undefiled owing to the extirpation, and then the next part of all the passions and the residues. So being free from every attachment and hindrance. So here clinging to here referring to tension, clinging to the true existence of phenomena, objects, clinging to the true existence of the objects of knowledge. So you're giving a name of attachment to this grasping at true existence. Grasping at true existence, if you ask by itself alone if it's an attachment, it's not that. Grasping at true existence has attachment. It has attachment, but by itself you cannot call it an attachment. So here, clinging to true existence is like giving the name of attachment to this grasping at true existence.
下半面吧，现在你这我困难了，就比淘宝没比70岁干了。现在你这我困难是呢，现在他们家了就没就吧。 초래와라 주바 제자 아니 초래와라 주바 만도 니제와 탐자라 주바라라 토바기 그러마 니제와 권나라 주베 토바미 비칠 시간나 가서래 제자 탐자라 주비 토바메바 니제와 권나라 주바 인장 아니 이제 니제와 권나라 주바 많이 봐 토바메바 제자 탐자라 아니 차와 주바 인장 아니 니제와 권한은 주비 토바 메비 이시 차반이도 돼.
So
그래서 근데 사바 메지 텔리치 말로 이렇게 말해. 참에 토바 메비 7 이시 차반이도 돼.
Being free from attachment and hindrance, they are all pervading in their wisdom. So all pervading in wisdom, that that this wisdom is not limited, is not limited to limited in its scope of extending to only a limited amount of phenomena, and not pervasive of all phenomena, not being like that, but being of that wisdom being of the nature pervading all phenomena.
다지니 가서다 니와니 땐도 랭유지 집안 매비랑시 인비시 뒤마 유전지 뒤마 샤바고 세 랭유기 집안 매바 랭유지 집안 매비랑시 인비시 아니 뒤마 제스면 따와레 스타토비엔데 세고서레 랑
The next is the qualities of the realizations. They are eternal. They are eternal, being of a totally indestructible nature, because it is not subject to karma and afflictions, or destruction. This is totally indestructible nature, this imperishable character.
아니 깨지 깨지 지나양 내가 니몬 거 왕게 아니 깨지 집아 많이 봐 말한지 렌이 풍부나신 그럼 아니 두마 잡았으면 민다래
So it is uncompounded, even though there is this kind of change from moment to moment, that kind of change from moment to moment is not due to karma and afflictions, like how it is so in the case of our contaminated aggregates, and so therefore it is uncompounded.
Jimmy said, "What day? That the Dambadang, Shiwadang, some Jimmy Jamadang, the Zokanga said, the Jibanam Shishade, Dansonamji Teshadis, or the Jimmy in the Damba, the Dansonamji Teshadi, Jibanam Shishade, Dansotala, Dochiro." The Tawati.
The eternal being of a totally indestructible nature, this imperishable character being demonstrated in short is expressed by the ideas of firmness and the rest. Tanda shuluka genchiklo number.
Danso namji teshe to ocha teche. Jiban namshi sheja de danso tala dochiro.
How do you say the next word now? Evan is known to be of four kinds, which are the reverse of firmness, putrefaction, the changes caused by illness, birth, and migration, which takes place in an inconceivable way.
Kaja namja nyawa subani jiban namshi sheja de danso shiwotela dashiro se da karere sa te kanse sana thala pabala maybe negabji gawa ta te tuma teno kudu danso shila dashiro se te rwa ore ta di dawatim tensha.
The reversing from reverse of the firmness, referring to the putrefaction, the changes caused by birth, aging, and so forth.
Oh, the Jewadang, Gawadang, that the second time, Dansotala, Dejiro, Dochiro, Yadang Namju Chabatang, Sami Tabjo Poade. Temechina Denshidang, Dada Pomeshewacha.
Zawatre. Zawakadre.
Yadans. Then there is one. Densotala Dochiro. Yadan Namju Chabatang. Samu Tabjo Poade. Temechina Denshida, Dada Pomeshewacha.
So Rimichi just read the same verse, verse 25. How we say that Evan is known to be of four kinds, which are the reverse of firmness, purification, changes caused by illness, birth, and migration, which takes place in an inconceivable way.
That they can do this and Yadang said, take Hashena. Nazi Telangaranzo, only Shunu Tala Baba. And Gawa and Yoana Shinchani. Tala Papa, maybe Negam. That is a ya gadi. Gawani, Yabatang, said the thing, but Gawati Yabatang.
So, purification, referring to the loss of our youth through the process of our aging, losing our vitality, so forth.
Yes, sir. Talapabi never let Toby Gawa to the Navas. I am never number Jua. Ani Navan Navidungala Sawaki, any number Jua.
And experiencing the changes that are caused by our sickness.
문제 타치아바 깨와 세가나 코야 타치아바 깨와 만들어. 문제 코야 타치아바 깨와.
And the experience of birth.
아니 삼지미자와 집에 치보와 시워티 매비 치나 다 간다 전다래서나 가와당 나와당 깨와당 삼지미자와 치보와 된다 들레사래.
So referring to aging, sickness, birth, and inconceivable death.
어때 매바 인상 네 땜바당 시와당 따바당 포함해봐 시와차.
So because of being without these, having reversed this, then you have the stability, the peace, as Dembata Shivata, permanence and unchanging or inalterable.
Gawa mebe deba, nawa mebe shiva, gewa mebe daba, ani samjin chipowa mebe, ampowa meba status jaya imata.
So because of being without aging or purification, then you have the stability or constancy. You have this firmness, and because of being without aging and so forth, then you are at I think because of being without aging, you have stability. Because of being without illness and so forth, then you are at peace. And because of being without birth, then you have eternal or the permanence. And because of being without that inconceivable death, then you have the unchanging state, inalterable.
That he bamba the Toba Shaba, says, that tell a dembi and then Shabati, and bamba the Toba Shabati, tell a Toba Shaba, bamba Toba Shaba, Nietzsche. That tella, that the old Madela, Damba the Tedruba, Tani Sanjay Tuji Trami, she to Janam, Sukunamba Shava, then Bishina, that's our la. How does so? Nada said you are called.
Sami Kebal.
Sabamichi Chevichi, do much again, and you want to Pacha upon the chat, then the Jimmy Nada, Namju Chaba, that some chapter poverty, Temechina, then she done, Dada Pome Shevacha, and the Dada Chibacha. Temechina, Damba, Dada Pome Shevacha, Shevacha, Pome Shevacha. That is Jella. Temeshe the Gaboy, Churchy Dane, Chinane, said my invita. Tawanya. Ah. That subject, the new one said the development to Yaga, some Java said. Zawaman to Jawaman to the Bamba Tobasha, the Chinsazon. Then you will see you be young or Chugushaba, Sugushaba, said it to Martin Tinsare, and you are in Chitamba said. You will assume she should be using or so hard. That subject is Tata Chilemason, the Casero, you are the Bambachi and then down, Bobachi and then Situa. Then the Papa the Toba Shaba said, and Bamba the Toba Shaba said, Bamba Shaba the Shet. And it that is Toba Shabat in Bayman, Toba Shabat Medona, Bamba the Toba Shabat, the and you Bamba the Shaba the Shet. That is Gelato Toba Shabat.
So verse 25 completes the qualities of abandonments and
the day is somebody. 대리문도 되다. 다사자 되기만 야다 이거 사자 고투도.
They're just going over all those classifications.
사자 많다 전에 고투도 이다. 다디니 자와도 마 대주고 당한 줄아. 다사니 subject what is subject 이마이 숨발이 거 니와라 수시 주비 용어 성화 최주고 샤바 소주고 샤바 대 이마라 진대 지담바 소샤바 니체 다진 니와라 니 다는 다유쇼다 요 다 자와데 차고 자와데 샤이가나 상제지도 니니 거래서 대소다라 도진 야다 남주 차바다 삼미 차주 포화데 대매치나 대시다 다다 포면 셔와차스 대매시에들 가보이 추지 대인 치나네 세티 그와 상제지 투지지 저만미 비 이시테 다 투지기 이시데 누자 남주 워 수고 생각데 안 두라바든데다 아니 두레 잠데 주바든데 마인바 상제기 이시에 아니 수기 넘버 샤네 아니 대남래 아니 레조드비 까비치기 땡이 비치 두자남라 두자남라 수기 넘버 샤네 두자남라 레바드비 치기 땡이 비치 땡이 비치나 내수 시와 차오 지메 시에 까보이 치기 땡이 치나 네
So verse 26, owing to the absence of these, is firm and quiescent. It is eternal and knows no migration. This immaculate spiritual element, being the support of all the purest properties, represents their substratum. So the form body of the Buddha is is not a body made of made of gross matter, atomic particles like that, but it is the self-appearance of the exalted wisdom of the Buddha, and as such, then engages in all the activities.
Oh, that day, Jetela, better than ye, Chenicana. Betela,
단다 gengi sumati yanjoji sunanda tiga.
Kindela.
단다.
Oh, Sanjay Tuji Chamami be Shedira.
So you're talking here. We're talking about the in the mental continuum of a Buddha, which is stainless, undefiled.
Oh, isn't Duja Namjungo, and a Suki number shower.
And it is this stainless, undefiled Buddha mind which appears, manifests in the form body.
And
appearing in these form bodies, then it acts as the basis, activating for sentient beings, the opportunity to accumulate all of the merits in terms of this and future lifetimes.
So in
that way, we say this form body is like the basis. It acts as the basis for us as sentient beings to accumulate the merit of virtue for this and future lifetimes.
Chida Jumi Nagani Sudon Wadan Tradanchi, Roda Ridan Chenamni, tell us you doing that.
So, and the verse 27 then is an illustration of this point. As space, being itself uncaused, is the cause for perception of visible forms, and with regard to the sounds, smells, tangibles, and mental elements, the cause of their audition and the rest.
Chida Jumi Nagani Sirigana, Chida 왕시 소 아니 순진 왕시라 소와기 아니 왕시 소 제제기 주민바기 난가데 왕시 제제기 주마레
So space is not the is not the cause for the sensory perceptions. It's not the cause of the sensory perceptions.
주다 마레 되게 난가 되게 미시기 수통와 나시기 자퇴와 내시와기 치 아니 친놈바당 제시기 로뇽와당 아니 리시기 르자당 이지시와기 아니 치어남지 아니다 미시기 수통와 내시기 자퇴와라 서와기 고급 체계기 규대 아니 난가들의 규대 땡을 받아 난가들 땡 치고래
So
유만이장 대답 그리고 아니 수통와라 서와기 고급 체계기 땡을
although this space is not the cause for the sensory perception, yet this space acts as the basis upon which then it allows for our consciousness to, our visual consciousness to see form, our hearing consciousness to hear sound, it allows our sixth sense perceptions to experience its respective objects.
어디 배틀아 거니 다 전대라 대신도 상제지 아니 수구당 추구니 보태양 야나 수구니 갈라잖아 되게 차니가 자 수지보라 자에나 롱로지 군이 월자 군이 지농구다 추구라잖아 되고다 가르자나야 군이 보태 사바메 비연된 다 깨와기 아니 그래.
So like this example of the space that acts as the basis, allowing for our sensory perceptions to experience its respective objects. Like this example, the two Buddha bodies, you can say the form body and the Rupakaya and the Dhammakaya, the truth body, or you can, if you take it in the context of just the two form bodies, the enjoyment body and the and the emanation body are the basis allowing for us to accumulate the uncontaminated karmas. So these two bodies allows as the basis allowing for the generation of all these uncontaminated qualities. So that's illustrated, meaning verse 28. The two bodies in their unimpeded activity represent the cause for the origination of all the purest virtuous properties accessible to the perception of the Bodhisattva.
가서래 꾸니보대 사바메 비엔단 깨와디 주인세나 가수기라 가사 강극기라 안기라 아니게 이제세나 아니 가서래 가사 수기라 깨와래세나 아니 가서 대신 꾸니 제메베 저에 댐비 왕된라 사바메 비엔단의 깨와니 주인노 세간라 담바 차주 선비 왕된라 오시가 왕토베 자주 선바당 야나 자주 선비 안보다 된라 출치다 되는데 계잖아 배조 녀를 시베 리바 메비 될 기와단 리바 니가로 거야 요사래 리바 메바를 리바스나 아니 배조라 되니 그봐 김바당 김바세디
So in whose continuum does it act, does these two Buddha bodies, in whose continuum does it act as a basis, does it act as a cause for generating these uncontaminated qualities? is in the continuum of the bodhisattvas in the perceptions of the bodhisattvas, and how does it affect? How does it allow for the arising of such uncontaminated qualities? Is through without obscurations. In one way you can say without obscuration. Another way is without effort and without exertion. It allows for the arising of generation of all of those uncontaminated qualities.
So
the two bodies in their unimpeded activity, unimpeded by obscurations, unimpeded with respect to effortless or without effort, without exertion, like that. It represents the cause for the origination of the purest virtuous properties.
Oh yeah, that dig more do there, that is that then become the
So we already explained the nature, the cause, and the result. And we'll leave the rest for the next part.